All right, guys, I know I'm not alone in having suffered the occasional miserable run. You go out with something in mind, and just shortly into that run, maybe even halfway through it, you feel like crap. You want to quit, you want to throw in the towel, or just turn around and walk home. That is so normal. It happens to the best of us, and secretly, I think it's why we love running, because it's difficult. So today, I'm going to break down my 5 best mental strategies for pushing through the hard run so that at the end of the day, you feel successful and motivated on your next one. And guys, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that button down below. You don't want to miss any of our new videos. So much around running, but also beyond that. Strength training, mobility, injury prevention, all the things you need to be more athletic and feel better about your performance as an athlete. All right, tip number 1 is to not make this run about you. There are so many factors that play into our runs. What we ate and drank, how did we sleep the night before, are we stressed at work, do we have enough time to squeeze this run in? If one of those things is off, what happens is we get a little bit weaker mentally, and we suddenly might start looking for other negative parts of our life to fixate on. So I'll tell you, in my trail runs, all of my worst ankle rolls have happened when I've been in sort of this pity party, just feeling sorry for myself. If you notice that you start to pull other things out of your life that you're unhappy with and fixate on those during the run, you are gonna feel worse and worse. So cut that off as soon as it starts to happen. All right, guys, number 2 is how you feel right now has nothing to do with how you're gonna feel 3 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour from now. If you let yourself believe that, you're gonna hold up a lot of good runs. There are very normal highs and lows to any distance race. I have gone through it myself, and I can tell you that anytime I was feeling like crap, I always had a high that matched it a few miles down the road or less. So what I want you to do is remember that and not let your lows overtake the rest of your run. Be in them, feel them, that achiness, that soreness, maybe irregular breathing, but do not go to the mental place of, oh my gosh, how am I gonna make it through 5 more miles of this, 10 more miles of this, whatever it is. It could even be 2 more miles of this. I want you guys to remember this because it is up to your mind to keep you going through moments like that, and the highs and lows are very normal. One caveat here, if you do think you're injured and you're someone who's been running through an injury and you're pretty sure of it, I am not condoning that you push through that injury, even if you have that achy ankle or hip that won't stop nagging you. If that never goes away, you certainly should get that checked out. I'm talking about more of the overall discomfort, what happens when we've been pounding the pavement for a while or we just can't breathe as easily as normal. All right, guys, this next one is probably my favorite of the video, and it's something that Ed Milet talked about on a podcast I was listening to last week. He is a motivational speaker, entrepreneur. Highly recommend looking him up. But he talked about context and how we can use context to help ourselves handle, bad or good situations, how we can pull back the lens and realize how much that thing actually matters. I want to apply this to your running. One bad run does not indicate anything about your overall training or how your race is going to go. It's very easy to let those moments feel really big and all of a sudden put yourself in the space of thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to finish that 5K, I'm not going to hit that half marathon time, whatever it is that your goal is. So I recommend that in those dark moments of a tough run, we don't get fixated on under the magnifying glass of this is who we are, this is how our running is going, but instead we pull out and realize challenges are a real part of training, and in fact, they prepare us for those challenges that are definitely gonna happen on race day and beyond. This next one's quite practical. It's a really good tool that I use during hard moments of a run just to make sure I'm actually as miserable as I think I am. And what I do is for 1 whole minute, I focus only on breathing. I block all thoughts out and I slow down. So I take it down a notch, I close my mouth, I try to inhale only through the nose for a slow amount of time, aiming for 3 to 4 seconds in, exhale big through the mouth, try to keep that slow as well, and repeat that, just focusing on my breathing. That's the only thing I'm doing. If you can count, that keeps your thoughts away and keeps them focused on the counting. But otherwise, I just want you guys to use this little tool 1 minute at a time to decide, am I actually as miserable as I think I am? After a minute of doing that, when you go back to your regular thought pattern, your regular breathing, are you still in that bad place? And if you are, I would then recommend going to a walk. You're always gonna get something out of continuing to move forward versus stopping. Stopping altogether or turning around, going back to the car, that's gonna put you in the mindset of giving up. You're gonna remember that time you gave up. If you were supposed to go out for a 6-mile run, you're 3 miles in, you try my 1 minute trick and it doesn't work for you at all, you're still feeling like crap, walk for 5 minutes, see how you're feeling from there. But to continue moving will at least show you you're in charge of your mind. You can always take another step forward, which again can be applied to race day. I want to leave you guys with something very important and really close to my heart, which is that I believe these hard moments in our runs are blessings. They prepare us for tougher things coming down the road. That could be in a race, that could be in our personal life. But if we don't go through these hard moments, we don't know how to adapt and work through them. The only way to get better at it is through. So if you're watching this video, you obviously are looking for ways to make your mind stronger and learn more about yourself so that you don't give up, but that you can always push through and gain some perspective on those hard moments. So look at it from that way. And lastly, if you're at the end of a race and you do feel miserable, but you are really, really adamant about finishing at a certain pace or a certain time, you very well may be running the last few miles of your race in a horrible mental state. What better prep than to do it already on one of your training runs? So that's what I want to leave you guys with, because I think it's so important to understand that these tough moments are why we do it. Now, to put our money where our mouth is, click right over here and watch Coach Morgan finish her first 100-mile race. It is really motivating to watch this because you're going to see her in real time work through those mental factors we just talked about, and ultimately, I don't want to give it away, but come out successful at the other side. Check that out, you guys. I will see you another day.